Well, we're in the middle of summer selling season now and prices are all over the place, so let's get into it. Hey, what's happening, guys? Derek here from Simply Home. I'm the broker for the entire state of Michigan. We're the fastest growing real estate company in the United States, and I'm back with your June 2025 real estate market update for the Woodward Corridor. And as always, we're going to go ahead and start with Ferndale. So as of right now in Ferndale, there are 55 homes on the market compared to 36 that sold in the month of May. And we don't see this very often, but the average sale price in Ferndale actually went down. The average sale price in May was $284,439. That's down 1.6% from the month of April, and it's down 3.9% from May of 2024. So even though the average sale price is down a little bit, homes are still selling on average for 100.3% of asking price, and they're selling in an average of 21 days on the market. And currently there is 2.2 months worth of inventory on the market in Ferndale. Moving over to Hazel Park. Right now in Hazel Park, there are 57 homes on the market compared to 28 that sold in the month of May. And prices seem to be dropping in Hazel Park as well. The average sale price for May was $182,879. That's down 2.8% from the month of April, and it's down 3.8% from May of 2024. Homes that did sell in May in Hazel Park sold on average for 98.3% of asking price, and they sold in an average of 36 days on the market. And currently in Hazel Park, there's 2.7 months worth of inventory on the market. Now let's talk about a city that's going in the opposite direction. That would be Oak Park. Prices are up in Oak Park. Currently, as we speak, there are 33 homes on the market in the city of Oak Park compared to 30 that closed in the month of May. And I know it was probably like 4 or 5 months ago, the average sale price dropped precipitously in Oak Park, and I thought it was probably going to be an anomaly. Looking like it is, because the average sale price for May in Oak Park was $266,471, which is up 5.5% from the month of April, and it's up 9.7% from May of 2024. And the average home that sold in May in Oak Park sold for 99.7% of asking price, sold in an average of 24 days on the market, and currently in Oak Park there's 1.7 months worth of inventory. Moving on to Royal Oak. So currently in Royal Oak, there is 144 homes on the market compared to 96 that sold in the month of May. And the average sale price in May for Royal Oak was $451,990. That is up 5.3% from the month of April, and it's up 1.9% from May of 2024. And talk about a market that continues to be hot. Homes in Royal Oak in May sold for an average of 102.4% of asking price, and they sold in only 14 days on the market on average. Currently in Royal Oak, there's 1.7 months worth of inventory. Moving on to Berkeley. Now, Berkeley is one of those small cities with a very small sample size that kind of lends itself to big fluctuations all over the place. This month is no exception. Right now in Berkeley, there's 34 homes on the market compared to 24 that sold in the month of May. And the average sale price in May for Berkeley was $413,029. Now that is up a massive 23.1% over the month of April, and it's up 15.5% from May of 2024. So I think what happened there is in April, we either had several smaller, lower end homes sell, or more likely than that, we just sold some new construction homes or some bigger homes in Berkeley this month, and that boosted the average sale price a lot higher. It'll all average out over the course of the year, but yeah, that's some pretty big numbers there in Berkeley, so congrats if you were able to sell your house in Berkeley in the month of May. And of the homes that did sell in May, they sold on average for 101% of asking price, and they sold in an average of only 18 days on the market. Currently in Berkeley, there's 1.6 months worth of inventory on the market. And then finally, last but certainly not least, your favorite and mine, that little city with the big heart, Clawson, Michigan. Let's get into Clawson. Currently in Clawson, there's 14 homes on the market compared to 16 that sold in the month of May. And again, smaller city, small sample size, kind of lends itself to big fluctuations. Here we go. The average sale price for May in Clawson was $299,775. That's going to be down 4.3% from April, and it's down 12.9% from May of 2024. But again, don't panic. We either had some higher end homes sell last May or so a couple lower end ones sold this May. It's not anything that is indicative of a larger trend or anything like that. So it'll average itself out, but that's just what we're looking at month over month and year over year. Case in point, even though the prices were down so much versus April, the average home in Clawson that sold in May sold for 102.6% of asking price and sold in an average of only 8 days on the market. And currently in Clawson, there's only 1 month worth of inventory on the market. So Derek, what's really going on here? Because some of these cities are, seem like they're dropping like a rock in terms of average sale price. Other cities are going up. I think generally what we're seeing is, the cities that we saw drops in, things like that, are the smaller, sample sizes. Like Ferndale is kind of the exception. It's has a little bit bigger sample size, obviously, than Berkeley or Clawson, but it's not. It's still a small city. There's only 10,000 housing units in the entire city, only 20,000 people. So, I think that's what we're seeing is just kind of a blip, and I think we'll probably recover next month. I mean, we'll know for sure when we get the numbers in, and I'll certainly report them back. But I think that's kind of what we're seeing. In general, the market is much more balanced than it has been for several years now. So that's a great thing as far as I'm concerned, because the buyers that I'm working with aren't like super pressured to just like write their best offer on the first house they see that's halfway decent. We can take our time. We can look at as many homes as you want. We can go out multiple times, wait to find that exact right house, and then depending on the circumstances of the property itself, like how many showings they've had, how many days on market it is, things like that, we're able to sometimes actually negotiate the price down even before the inspection. So that's been great. I haven't been able to do that for a long time with buyers, so that's made me very happy, and it's made my buyers even happier. And on the listing side, I mean, the average home is still selling for over 100% of asking price, so which means that at least half of the homes that are selling are getting multiple offers. So I think the moral of the story is, and I talked about this a little bit a couple months ago, is you can still get your home sold, you can still get top dollar, you can sell it very, very quickly, you can get multiple offers, but now you just kind of have to put some effort into it. I mean, realistically, 2-3 years ago, this time of year, all you had to do was put a sign in the ground and you were going to get 15 offers and you were going to sell it for way over asking price. The problem we had then was when people sold their house, like, what do I do now? Where am I going to move to? Because now they were, one of those people that were, bidding on multiple homes and just throwing their best offer in there. All that pressure has kind of gone away, or at least most of it has. So that's been pretty nice. But case in point, I had a couple of weeks ago, two Mondays ago, I put 2 homes on the market on the same day. One of them, my sellers did what I asked of them and presented the home and priced it exactly where I wanted it to be. And we had it sold in under 48 hours. We had 4 offers, well over asking price, sold, done deal. The other home, the seller didn't exactly take my price recommendation. We're still sitting on the market. So we're going to get that one sold. It's a nice home. It's beautiful, actually. Once we get that price where it needs to be, we're going to get it sold. But, that just shows you need to you kind of need to do everything right to get that like immediate boom. We're going to sell it for over asking price on multiple offers. It's still a pretty strong seller's market when there's under 2 months worth of inventory or under 2.5, 3 months. That's when it starts to kind of balance out a little bit. And most of the cities that we deal with in the Woodward Corridor are still under that amount of inventory. So Hazel Park being the exception that's kind of sorting to get to a balanced market. And you can see prices have come down a little bit in Hazel Park. So It's simple supply and demand. That's how it always works. But generally speaking, I wouldn't expect too much to change here for the foreseeable future, the next 60 to 90 days anyway. I would love for mortgage rates to continue to drift down a little bit, and they are, but it's very, very, very slowly. We're talking like 0.1% week over week for the past few weeks. I mean, it's nothing dropping like too crazy. I don't expect it to either. The Fed has indicated they are probably going to keep their rates where they are for the foreseeable future, although it does sound like they have committed to dropping rates twice in 2025. We just haven't seen it yet. I guess that probably comes towards the end of the year. But right now we're in the high sixes on average for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. Is about 6.85%, give or take, which is it's less than where we were. It's about where we were a year ago. Rates had dropped down about 6 months ago, and then they popped right back up. So, is what it is. We're everybody's dealing with the same market forces. So, it's one of those things. I think where we're at right now is better than where we were 2 or 3 years ago when rates were close to 8%. We're way better than that. But if you can comfortably afford the payments on a house, I would pull the trigger on it, get that house that you want, because what's going to probably happen, homes are continuing to generally appreciate. They have been for years now, month over month. I don't foresee some big market crash that's going to cause prices to really drop through the floor. Could happen. I don't really see any evidence of how it will happen. But I'm not predicting that at all. So generally speaking, what happens when rates go down is prices go up, because across the United States, for every 1% the mortgage rates drop, 4 million new buyers enter the market. So I would say get that house that you want, then refinance in 6 months or a year when rates get where you want them to be. And then that way you're not paying more for that home for the next 30 years. So it's all, any way you cut it. Really what it boils down to is when the time's right for you, go for it. I don't see any reason why you should have to hesitate. And on the sell side, if you're, it's still a good time to sell, I guess is what I'm trying to spit out. But, I would just make sure that you are in a position to put a little bit of effort into listing your home. Like nothing crazy. Like we're talking, go to Home Depot and spend a few $100 on mulch and flowers and if you have to replace some carpet or paint a room or something, do that. I'm never the person that's going to tell you need to like gut that kitchen and drop 25-30 grand into a kitchen or a bathroom in order to sell the house. Not even close. My whole philosophy is don't spend a ton of money on a home you don't plan on living in anymore, but just price it accordingly for what it is. But that being said, your home will sell so much faster if you create that really good first impression than if you don't. That's just common sense. But as always, if there's a city that I didn't talk about that you want to know more about, or if there's any kind of topic that you want to know that I haven't addressed recently, reach out anytime. You can call or text me anytime. My direct line, as always, is 586-491-5622. My email is derecwarenka@simplyhome.com. I'm on all the socials. You can message me. I'll respond quickly. Anything you guys need, that's what I'm here for. Reach out anytime. Thank you so much for watching these videos. I'll be back next week with another one. Until then, take care. We'll talk soon. Thanks a lot, guys. Enjoy the summer.